Kennington, in case you haven't been there, is a little over 300 miles from here. Has a population of 36,000. Looks pretty much like any other American town of the same size. There's an up-to-date business district, scattered around are the usual small industry and warehouse sections, modern schools and playgrounds, a lot of comfortable homes. Taken all together, it was a pretty good town. Nice place to live. On the day I'm talking about, well, it started more or less like any other day. As if we'd really become a part of something. Kennington wasn't just a town, it was our town. As far as the paper was concerned, well, the Journal wasn't the New York Times, maybe, but in the 5 years since we'd taken over, everybody seemed to think we'd done quite a job. Don, who handled the business end, and I had been in the Army together. Being friends, it made it more than just another partnership.
Here, Jim. Put your John Henry on this.
Morning, Miss McDermott.
Good morning, Jim.
How's the newsprint situation?
Can't complain.
I'll say you can't.
What's this bring it down to now?
4,400, but don't worry about it. I don't.
Your ad's all set, Mr. Copeland.
Well, that's swell, Don.
Why don't you go on back? Be with you in a minute.
Sure.
Seems like all we do is work for the paper company.
Yeah. Why don't we just give them the plan?
Here you are.
That was how it started. You meet all sorts of crackpots in the newspaper business. The only trouble was, the police could have had a tail on him. Made me just curious enough to wonder what the real story was. One thing about a town the size of Kennington, when you wanted any information, you could go straight to the chief of police himself. In a way, I'd always... Fan looked like a list of bookies. At least it was a place to start. Hi, Rocky.
You're a couple minutes over, Jim.
Well, this is a press car. Doesn't that sticker mean anything anymore?
Look, don't take it out on me. This ain't my idea.
I know.
Real chicken, ain't it?
Forget it. The next couple of days after I... Apparently the word had gotten around. Every place I went, as soon as I mentioned his name, they dummied up. I might have dropped it there except for one thing. As I made the rounds, I began to notice I had company. I was starting to run out of names when I got to Krug's warehouse. At first, I thought I must have made a mistake. I knew Krug. He'd been one of our first advertisers. With a business the size of his, it didn't make sense he'd be making book. Got some new neighbors, huh?
Yeah, I had more floor space than I needed, and these fellas came along a few months back, offered me a good rent, so I let them have the other half of the building. Laboratory of some kind, defense work, I think.
I see.
Kind of off your beat, ain't it, this part of town?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is.
Anything I can do for you?
No, thanks. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Yeah. Drop in anytime.
It wasn't much, but Mr. Fowler, Krug's new tenant, interested me. I was sure that somewhere... For a kid of 19, I suppose there's nothing quite as exciting as a set of false whiskers. I'd made clear to Phil he wasn't to do anything. Just keep an eye on the warehouse and call me if Fabretti came in. While Phil went through the motions of working on his jalopy, runners kept coming and going. But of the big boy himself, it wasn't a sign. I want to see Mr. Bartlett.
Yes, sir. Oh, he's busy right now. Who shall I say?
James Austin from the Journal.
I'll tell Mr. Bartlett you're here, Mr. Austin.
Oh, hello, Jim.
Hi, Andy.
You're just the man I want to see. Go ahead, I'll talk to you.
Listen, what are you trying to stir up going after the bookies?
Well, I was stopped in my tracks. But I still couldn't believe there wasn't somebody who hadn't sold out. That afternoon, I had my friend Reverend Nash call a meeting of the ministers. Like a lot of people, I'd said to myself, this couldn't happen. Not in Kennington, not to us. But it was happening. In Kennington.
Hey, buddy. How do I get to the Edwards Hotel?
Turn right at the next intersection.